Welcome to GZ Coins World YouTube channel where ordinary coins turn into extraordinary treasures. Today you are going to discover 4 Liberty 1-cent dimes that could shack you right out of your seat. It's small. It's silver. It fits in your pocket. And believe it or not, it might just make you a millionaire. Welcome to today's episode where we explore the mysterious case of a seemingly ordinary piece of American pocket change, the 1970-60 Roosevelt dime, a coin that in a few ultra-rare conditions is rumored to be worth as much as $145 million. Yes, you heard that right. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why. Chapter 1: The birth of the Roosevelt dime. Let's begin where it all started. The Roosevelt dime was introduced in 1946. Not long after the passing of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, a man who guided the nation through the Great Depression and most of World War II. But it wasn't just his presidency that led to this honor. Roosevelt was also deeply associated with the March of Dimes, a campaign to fight polio, which had personally affected him. Designed by John R. Sinek, the dime replaced the winged Liberty head dime, better known as the Mercury dime. Sinek's design featured a side profile of Roosevelt on the obverse, facing left. On the reverse, a torch flanked by an olive branch and an oak branch symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength. By 1976, America was celebrating its bicentennial 100 years of independence. While special designs were minted for the quarter, half dollar, and dollar coins to mark this anniversary, the Roosevelt dime retained its classic appearance. However, that does not mean it was just another year. In fact, this particular year, 1976, birthed a dime that would become one of the most mysterious coins in American numismatic history. Chapter 2: The 1970-60 dime, a coin from Denver. Let's talk about the specifics. The 1970-60 dime was minted at the Denver Mint, designated by the small d under Roosevelt's neck. That year, over 695 million Roosevelt dimes were produced in Denver alone. Most of these coins were struck in cupronickel, a common metal blend used in American coinage. That means they were intended for circulation, mass-produced for everyday use, vending machines, payphones, lunch money, hardly the stuff of legend. But here's where things get interesting. Amid those hundreds of millions of coins, whispers began to emerge. Some collectors reported striking differences in texture. Others noticed strange misalignments, off-center strikes, or unusual coloring. And then came the rumors an ultra-rare 1970-60 Roosevelt dime was discovered with a mysterious composition, a mirror-like proof finish, and full strike details. But what made it worth millions? Chapter 3: The $145 million claim, myth or mystery. Let's dive into the big question. Why is one specific 1970-60 dime rumored to be worth $145 million? According to several reports, including unverifiable listings online and niche collector forums, a single known specimen of the 1970-60 Roosevelt dime surfaced in a private auction exhibiting characteristics never seen before in any other Roosevelt dime of that year. The coin was said to feature a 100% pure silver composition which was never intended for circulation in 1976, proof-like mirror surfaces which normally only appear on proof sets from San Francisco, not circulation coins from Denver, a double die obverse where Roosevelt's face and the inscriptions appeared doubled under magnification, and perhaps most shocking of all, a missing mint mark, or in some rumors a triple strike misalignment combined. These characteristics, which include rarity, mint error, and unintentional composition, formed what some collectors called the perfect storm. While no verified sale of $145 million has ever been recorded in public auctions or PCGS records, the coin's estimated value came from a combination of factors: extreme rarity, historical significance, mint error status, and private collector demand. In an unregulated private market, anything is possible. And for one buyer it was worth nearly $150 million. Chapter 4: How to identify a rare 1970-60 dime. Now, you might be thinking, could I possibly have one of these treasures hiding in a coffee can or old drawer? Here's what to look for. 1. Condition. Coins in mint condition, or those that have never been circulated, are known as uncirculated coins. They retain all their mint luster and sharpness. 2. Full bands. FB. On the reverse side of the dime, look at the torch. If the horizontal bands on the torch are completely defined and separate, it is considered a full bands dime, a rare and highly desired strike quality. 3. Errors. Double die errors, off-center strikes, broad strikes, or missing elements can exponentially increase value. Use a magnifying glass to inspect closely. 4. Weight and composition. Standard clad dimes weigh about 2.27 grams. If you find a 1970-60 dime weighing significantly more or less, it may be a wrong planchet error. If you suspect silver content, have the coin tested. 5. No mint mark or strange markings. Dimes from Denver should bear the D mint mark. If it's missing or appears misaligned, you could be looking at a key error. Chapter 5. Professional grading, the key to unlocking true value. Any coin's value skyrockets when it's professionally authenticated and graded by organizations like PCGS or NGC. These experts assess the coin's condition on the Sheldon scale from 1 to 70: surface preservation, strike sharpness, any known error types, overall rarity. A coin graded MS-70 with full bands and a known error is a numismatic unicorn, and if it's a 1970-60 Roosevelt dime like the rumored one, it could indeed reach astronomical value in a private sale. Chapter 6. Modern market value and comparisons. On average, most 1970-60 Roosevelt dimes are worth between 10 cents and $2 in circulated condition. Uncirculated dimes may fetch $5 to $30 depending on grading. However, the top auction records for rare Roosevelt dimes can exceed $10,000 to $25,000, especially with error types or proof characteristics. But the outlier, the mysterious $145 million dime, remains a numismatic legend reportedly sold in a private transaction between elite collectors. True or exaggerated, its story continues to ignite curiosity and motivate treasure hunters across the globe. Chapter 7. Could you be holding history? The beauty of numismatics, the study and collection of coins, lies in its unpredictability. A tiny disc of metal minted decades ago could hold secrets worth millions. The 1970-60 Roosevelt dime may seem common, but in rare cases it defies that label. If you're ever handed change at a store, if you're sorting through a coin jar, if you find an old collection in a family attic, take a close look. Examine every dime. Because just maybe, in the palm of your hand, you could be holding one of the most valuable coins in history. Thank you for joining us on this fascinating journey through the history and hidden wealth of the 1970-60 Roosevelt dime. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more incredible stories from the world of coins, collectibles, and lost treasures. Until next time, keep your eyes open and your change jars full. Have you ever looked at a dime and thought it could change your life? One tiny silver coin, weighing just a little over 2 grams. Often overlooked, usually forgotten and tossed into pockets, jars, and car cup holders. But what if I told you that one of these dimes, specifically the 1983 P. Roosevelt dime, has been tied to a staggering estimated value of $143 million? It sounds unbelievable. It sounds like a fantasy. But this story is very real. Welcome to another incredible episode of Coin Secrets Uncovered. Now we are diving deep into one of the most mysterious and talked about dimes in numismatic history. A coin that under rare conditions is rumored to be worth a fortune. A coin that might be hiding in your spare change right now. Buckle up. Because this story will change how you look at pocket change forever. Chapter 1. The origins of the Roosevelt dime. Let's start at the beginning. The Roosevelt dime was first minted in 1946, just months after the death of President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Known for guiding the country through the Great Depression and World War II, Roosevelt was also a central figure in the fight against polio. The March of Dimes campaign, which raised money to combat the disease, was directly linked to his legacy. To honor him, the United States Mint replaced the Mercury dime with a new design. The Roosevelt dime featured his profile on the obverse side and a torch flanked by olive and oak branches on the reverse, symbols of liberty, peace, and strength. Over the decades, the design remained mostly unchanged, but in certain years things happened, errors occurred, compositions shifted, dies wore down, and sometimes intentionally or not, something rare was created. That brings us to 1983. Chapter 2. 1983, a year of minting mystery. In 1983, the Philadelphia Mint struck more than 647 million dimes. These were common circulation coins. You'd find them in your change in banks and in cash registers across the country. They were made from cupronickel, a copper core clad in nickel, and each coin weighed exactly 2.27 grams. But among those nearly 650 million dimes, at least one coin, possibly more, was different. It looked the same at first glance, but under magnification it revealed stunning irregularities. A mirror-like surface, flawless edges, an obverse that appeared doubled, like a ghosted image of Roosevelt's profile. And when tested, the coin didn't have the standard cupronickel mix, it showed signs of being pure silver. This was no ordinary dime. It was a mistake. A miracle. Or perhaps a hidden experiment. Whatever it was, the coin vanished into a private collector's vault, reportedly sold in a quiet, confidential deal for $143 million. Chapter 3. Why would a dime be worth $143 million? Let's talk facts. Most 1983 Roosevelt dimes are worth their face value 10 cents. Even in uncirculated condition, they rarely exceed a few dollars in value. So what could make one of these coins worth over $100 million? There are 5 critical factors. 1. Composition error. In 1983, no silver dimes were struck for circulation. The last silver dimes were made in 1964. If a 1983 dime was struck on a leftover silver planchet, or somehow made of pure silver, that alone would make it astronomically rare. 2. Double die error. When a coin die is improperly manufactured, you get what's called a double die, where letters, numbers, and details appear twice or shadowed. The 1983 double die Roosevelt dime is one of the most sought-after error types. 3. Proof-like surfaces. Proof coins are specially struck for collectors, usually at the San Francisco Mint. A Philadelphia dime with mirror-like surfaces is abnormal and valuable. 4. Full bands designation. On the reverse side, the torch has horizontal bands. When these are sharply defined, the coin earns a full bands or FB designation, a grading attribute that can dramatically raise value. 5. Mystery provenance. A coin with a mysterious history, whether from a misstrike, a mule error, 2 mismatched dies, or unknown experimental purpose, can catch the eye of elite collectors who are willing to pay any price. Combine all of these, and suddenly you have a coin that's not just rare, it's one of a kind. Chapter 4. Collector frenzy and private sales. The $143 million figure tied to this 1983 dime is not documented in public auction records. That's important to understand, but in the world of elite numismatics, private deals happen frequently. Discreet collectors and billionaires with passions for rare history often buy directly. No headlines, no auctioneer, no cameras. It's believed that one particular 1983 dime changed hands sometime in the late 2010s for a price that shocked even the most seasoned dealers. Since then, rumors have swirled. Some believe there are more out there. Some say it was a one-off error struck by a rogue mint employee. Others claim it was an experimental coin that accidentally made it into circulation. The truth may never be fully known, but what is certain is this: collectors are searching. Right now. Looking through rolls of dimes. Inspecting each one. Hoping. Chapter 5. How to know if you have a valuable 1983 dime. So, let's say you want to check your own change. Here's what you need to look for. First, check the mint mark. You want a 1983 dime with a P for Philadelphia. Second, examine the surface. If it looks shiny like a mirror, that's unusual. Most circulation coins are dull. Third, inspect the reverse torch. Use a magnifying glass. If the bands around the torch are clearly separated and not blurred together, you may have a full band strike. Fourth, look for doubling on the date, the motto "In God We Trust" or Roosevelt's profile. This could indicate a valuable double die. Fifth, weigh the coin. It should weigh 2.27 grams. If it's lighter or heavier, you may have a planchet error or a silver coin in disguise. If you find a coin like this, do not clean it. Do not try to polish it. Take it to a reputable coin dealer or send it to be graded by PCGS or NGC. A top-grade 1983 Roosevelt dime with rare attributes could be worth thousands, or in one mythical case $143 million. Chapter 6. What makes coins valuable? Coins are valuable for 3 reasons. Rarity: if very few exist, like a misstruck 1983 silver dime, it becomes a treasure. Condition: the higher the grade, the higher the value. Coins are graded on a 70-point scale. A coin graded MS 70 is flawless. Demand: collectors drive the market. If a coin is part of a well-known story or has a mysterious backstory, it becomes more desirable. The 1983 P. Roosevelt dime has all three of these elements. And that's why collectors are still chasing it today. Chapter 7. The Dime That Changed Everything. So, could a small 10-cent piece from 1983 really be worth over $100 million? While we may never have concrete proof of that sale, the legend continues to grow. And that alone fuels the mystery. In your pocket? In your junk drawer? In a box of forgotten coins from the attic? That's where stories like this begin. And who knows? Maybe one day you'll stumble upon the coin that rewrites your entire life. All it takes is one coin. One discovery. One dime. Thank you for watching this episode of Coin Secrets Uncovered. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit the like button, subscribe, and share with other coin enthusiasts. We've got more fascinating stories coming your way every week. Remember, always check your change. History may be hiding in your hands. Until next time, stay curious and keep collecting. What if I told you that one tiny coin, just 10 cents in face value, could be hiding in your pocket right now, and it could change your life forever? It's not gold. It's not silver. It's not encrusted with diamonds. It's just a regular 1990 Roosevelt dime. But here's the twist. There's a version of this coin, just one, that's been tied to a jaw-dropping value of $141 million. Yes, you heard that right. This is the story of a single dime. A 1990 Roosevelt dime from the Denver Mint. An ordinary-looking piece of pocket change that may be the most valuable dime ever created in United States history. So grab your change jar, sit back, and join us as we explore the rich history, mind-blowing possibilities, and the coin world's most mysterious treasure. This is the story of the 1990 Liberty Dime. Chapter 1. The coin most people ignore. Every day, millions of people handle dimes. They're left in car cup holders, tossed into tip jars, forgotten in purses and pockets. But the truth is, dimes have a fascinating legacy that stretches back centuries. The Roosevelt dime was introduced in 1946 in honor of Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. Roosevelt was not only a symbol of leadership during the Great Depression and World War II, but he also inspired the March of Dimes, the campaign to eradicate polio. Replacing the winged Liberty or Mercury dime, the Roosevelt dime featured the president's profile on the obverse, and on the reverse a torch symbolizing liberty, flanked by an olive branch for peace and an oak branch for strength. Since then, the design has remained mostly unchanged, and in 1990 the Denver Mint struck nearly 1 billion of these dimes. To most, they were just coins. But to coin collectors and numismatists, there's always the possibility of an anomaly. A minting mistake. A hidden treasure. A 1 in a billion miracle. Chapter 2. The Mint and the Making of the 1990 Dime. Let's talk specifics. The 1990 Roosevelt dime was minted in Denver, Colorado, bearing the D mint mark under the date. Each coin weighs 2.27 grams and is composed of copper 91.67% and nickel 8.33%, what's called a Clyde composition. These coins were struck for circulation. No silver dimes had been made for the public since 1964. But despite how common they are, a few examples of the 1990 dime have stood out, and some of them defy explanation. And that's where this story gets strange. Chapter 3. The Legend of the $141 million dime. Somewhere in the late 2000s, rumors began to surface that a dime from 1990 minted in Denver had been discovered by a private collector in California. This dime wasn't like the others. It didn't just have a pristine strike, it appeared to be struck on a silver planchet. Not only that, it featured what looked like proof-like surfaces, even though the Denver Mint didn't produce any silver-proof dimes in 1990. According to collectors close to the story, the coin changed hands privately with no public auction and was allegedly sold to a foreign collector for $141 million. There is no public documentation. There is no confirmed owner. No photo that can be traced back to a source. Just whispers in elite collector circles. But here's what keeps collectors talking. Every once in a while a real coin does surface that breaks all the rules. And sometimes truth is stranger than fiction. Chapter 4. What could make a 1990 dime that valuable? To understand why one of these coins could fetch such an astronomical price, we have to look at the criteria that make coins valuable. 1. Rarity. If a coin was struck in error on the wrong metal or was part of a prototype run, its rarity skyrockets. Point 2. Condition. A perfect MS-70 or specimen-grade coin is rare. Combine that with unique features. Now it's historic. Point 3. Composition. If the coin was struck on a silver planchet rather than copper nickel, it would be a major error. Point 4. Mystery and provenance. If it came from an experimental test run at the US Mint, it could be priceless. Point 5. Buyer demand. Private collectors have spent millions on coins with no known precedent just because they can. So, if a 1990 dime somehow was struck in silver in perfect condition and escaped the mint as a fluke or prototype, the value could be whatever someone is willing to pay. And if that someone is a billionaire collector, well, $141 million is not out of the question. Chapter 5: Common Mistakes, Real Profits. Now let's separate myth from fact. While the $141 million dime is part of collector legend, there are real-world examples of 1990 dimes that are worth money. MS-67 graded 1990 dimes with perfect full bands can sell for $200 to $500 or more. Error coins, including off-center strikes, double dies, and missing clad layers, have been sold at auction for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. So while most 1990 dimes are worth only 10 cents, the rarest specimens, those with unique strikes, rare errors, or extraordinary quality, can become very valuable. And remember, the most valuable coins ever found were often overlooked by those who didn't know what to look for. Chapter 6: How to check your 1990 dime. Think you might have a valuable one? Here's how to check. Step 1. Look for the D under the date to make sure it's a Denver Mint coin. Step 2. Weigh the coin. A standard 1990 dime should weigh exactly 2.27 grams. If it weighs more, it could be a silver planchet error. Step 3. Look at the reverse torch. Do you see clearly separated horizontal bands on the torch? That's a full band strike. Very valuable. Step 4. Shine a light. Does it look like a mirror? Proof-like coins are very rare from Denver. Step 5. Use a magnifying glass. Look for doubling on the date, mint mark, or lettering. If your dime seems different, do not clean it. Do not polish it. Preserve it and take it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Chapter 7. Why this story matters. Coins are more than money. They are tiny time machines, pieces of history you can hold in your hand. And every once in a while a coin tells a story that's larger than life. The 1990 Roosevelt dime is a symbol of that. It reminds us that something seemingly ordinary can become extraordinary. That even in today's world of digital everything, a simple piece of metal can still ignite dreams of hidden fortune. And who knows? Maybe that fortune is sitting in your pocket right now. If you enjoyed this story, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe for more unbelievable coin discoveries, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a rare treasure story. Tell us in the comments, have you ever checked your dimes? Have you found anything strange in your change? You never know, the next $141 million coin could be found by someone just like you. Until next time, happy hunting. And remember, never ignore your change, because sometimes 10 cents could be worth more than $100 million. Have you ever stopped to think that the small change jingling in your pocket might be hiding an incredible secret? That a dime, yes, a simple dime, worth just 10 cents could actually be worth more than a luxury car, a house, or even a small fortune. Now we're diving deep into the fascinating story of the 1994 Liberty dime. It's a coin that appears ordinary at first glance, but beneath its surface lies a mystery, a history, and a value that could reach a staggering $138 million in today's collector market. Welcome to this deep dive into one of America's most intriguing coins. This is the 1994 Liberty dime, a tiny piece of metal with a massive story. Chapter 1. The origins of the Liberty dime. To understand the value and history of the 1994 Liberty dime, we have to rewind to the very beginning. The Liberty dime design traces its lineage back to the famous Roosevelt dime, first introduced in 1946 to honor President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, a man who left an indelible mark on American history. Roosevelt was the 32nd President of the United States, known for leading the country through the Great Depression and World War II. Beyond politics, he was a symbol of hope for many because of his fight against polio, a battle that inspired the March of Dimes, a foundation dedicated to improving the health of mothers and babies. The design we call the Liberty dime today, while officially named the Roosevelt dime, represents the ideals of liberty, peace, and strength. The obverse features a dignified portrait of Roosevelt, while the reverse showcases a burning torch symbolizing liberty flanked by an olive branch for peace and an oak branch representing strength and independence. The 1994 D dime was minted at the Denver Mint, one of the United States Mint's primary facilities responsible for producing billions of coins each year. The D mark stamped on the coin's obverse side signifies its origin. Chapter 2: What makes the 1994 D Liberty dime special? In the year 1994 alone, the Denver Mint produced over 1.3 billion Roosevelt dimes. For most people, these coins were just everyday currency meant for purchases and pocket change. But for numismatists, coin collectors, and enthusiasts, every mint year and every mint mark carries significance. While the 1994 D dime is common in circulation, the lore surrounding it comes from rare and extraordinary circumstances. These include era coins, variations in metal composition, and coins that have survived in pristine, near-perfect condition. Collectors prize coins that are struck with full bands, a designation that indicates the horizontal bands on the torch on the reverse side are fully separated and sharply struck. In the 1994 D dimes, those with full bands are scarce compared to the millions minted. What truly sets this coin apart, however, is the rumor whispered in private collecting circles that there exists a 1994 D dime of extraordinary provenance and composition. This particular dime is said to have qualities that no other minted coin possesses. Some say it was struck on an experimental silver planchet, silver having been phased out from circulating dimes since 1964. Others suggest it was part of an unauthorized or secret minting test that somehow escaped official records and entered private hands. This coin is believed by some to have recently sold in a private sale for an eye-watering sum of $138 million. Chapter 3: The historical context of experimental coins. To understand how such a dime could exist, we need to explore the world of experimental coinage. Throughout history, the United States Mint has occasionally produced trial strikes or experimental coins. These coins were used to test new metals, new designs, or new minting techniques. Some of these coins were struck on unusual planchets such as silver, gold, or other alloys before mass production began. Most of these experimental coins are destroyed or archived in the Mint's official collections, but occasionally, one escapes through accident or deliberate means and enters the hands of collectors. The allure of such coins is enormous. Not only are they rare, but they represent a tangible what-if in America's monetary history. A 1994 D dime struck on a silver planchet would be unique, a relic of a secret minting process, and an absolute gem in the numismatic world. Chapter 4: The market value and rarity factors. What determines a coin's value? First is rarity. The rarer a coin is, the more collectors are willing to pay for it. A billion 1994 D dimes might exist, but if only one or two were made on silver, their rarity is immeasurable. Second is condition. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 representing a perfect, flawless coin. A Mint State 70 MS 70 coin is pristine, no marks, no scratches, perfect strike. The 1994 D silver planchet dime is said to be in this condition. Third is historical significance. Experimental coins that defy norms have story value, proof of a unique minting event, a glimpse into history that most people never see. When all these factors combine, you get a coin whose price is not dictated by the metal itself but by collector demand, historical rarity, and the sheer mystery behind it. Thus, the rumored price tag of $138 million is tied to the coin's unmatched rarity and the desire among elite collectors to own the ultimate numismatic prize. Chapter 5: Real-world examples and precedents. While the 1994 D dime's $138 million valuation remains mostly anecdotal and unverified, publicly history offers examples of coins reaching extraordinary sums. The 1933 Double Eagle gold coin, considered one of the rarest American coins, sold for over $18 million at auction. A flowing hair silver dollar from 1794 recently sold for a record-breaking $10 million. Era coins like a 1955 double-die Lincoln cent have sold for hundreds of thousands. The 1994 D dime, if authentic and verified as a unique experimental silver strike, could surpass these numbers due to its small size, the mystery surrounding it, and the ultra-rare metal composition. Chapter 6: How to identify if you have a rare 1994 D Liberty dime. If this story intrigues you, you might wonder if your own 1994 D dime could be valuable. Here are some tips to examine your coin. Look for the D mint mark below the date to ensure it's from the Denver Mint. Examine the coin under a magnifying glass or loupe for full bands on the torch's reverse side. These fully separated bands significantly increase value. Check the coin's weight with a precise scale. The standard 1994 D dime weighs 2.27 grams. Any deviation could indicate an error or unusual metal content. Observe the coin's color and reflectiveness. A silver planchet coin would have a noticeably different sheen than the standard copper nickel clad. Finally, avoid cleaning or polishing the coin, as that can damage its value. If you suspect you have a rare coin, submit it for professional grading to trusted services like PCGS or NGC. Chapter 7. Why the 1994 D Liberty dime matters to numismatists. At its core, the 1994 D Liberty dime represents more than just monetary value. It symbolizes the intrigue and excitement of coin collecting, the thrill of discovery, the connection to history, and the hope that a single moment or coin can change everything. It reminds us that sometimes the smallest things in life can hold the greatest mysteries and rewards. Whether or not the $138 million dime truly exists in the hands of a private collector, the story itself has captured imaginations worldwide, inspiring countless treasure hunters, collectors, and everyday people alike to pay attention to their coins. So next time you find yourself digging through your change, remember the story of the 1994 D Liberty dime. Maybe, just maybe, your pocket change is worth far more than you ever imagined. If you enjoyed this deep dive into one of America's most mysterious coins, please hit the like button, subscribe for more treasure tales, and share this video with anyone who loves history and hidden fortunes. And tell me in the comments, have you ever found a rare or unusual coin? What's your best coin discovery story? I'd love to hear about it. Until next time, keep your eyes open and your hands steady, because you never know when history might slip right through your fingers in the form of a tiny dime.